today I'm gonna be filming a I don't know how to explain it. So it's gonna be like me talking about freshman year of high school and like going in because I'm a junior, and I know that there's some freshmen that are gonna come into high school next year that watch me. Um, so I'm just gonna talk about like my freshman year and how my year went and how high school is, so you guys know what to expect. So first I want to start off by saying freshman year was very nerve-wracking going into it because I was like, I didn't know how to, like, what to expect and like how I'm supposed to like go. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was like scared I was gonna go into the wrong classes because the campus is huge. Like, it is so big, and like it's way bigger than like elementary school and junior high and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my god, like what if I get lost or what if I can't find my classes? But honestly, my first day I knew exactly where my classes were because they kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. They're like, the classes are right next to each other, but there's so many classes that the campus looks big. But honestly, you'll get the hang of it. If you already have different classes and you already go to your different classes, then it's going to be more easier. But the only thing was, I thought that I was going to like go into the wrong classes, or I wasn't going to know exactly like what class I was supposed to go to. And that was the most nerve-wracking part. But on the other side, the teachers are super, super nice, and they're like, I think they like are more nice to you because they know that like you're like a freshman and you don't know really like what to expect, so they're like nicer to you, if that makes sense. And they're like way easier on you, and they don't give you like a lot of homework because they know like the first week and the second week of school you're still trying to adapt to like all your classes, and they pretty much just send you papers home for your parents to fill out instead of you guys. And they're super nice, and they're super like flexible. Like if you don't turn in, if you don't have time to turn in your papers or whatever, like they'll accept late work, but not super late, like a month out. Like they'll take it like after a couple classes. But you just have to make sure you talk to your teachers. Like, you can't just be late on every single assignment. Like, if you're late on one of them, they'll like be like, okay, just make sure you're not like turning them in super late or whatever, you know. But you just have to make sure you're talking to your teachers. Like, let them know like, hey, I had this come up and I wasn't able to finish my work, but can I turn it in next class or whatever. Make sure you are communicating because that is key to your teachers. They will really appreciate it. That was my problem in freshman year. I never communicated at all. I never like communicated with my teachers because I was always scared like they're gonna get mad at me and I'm not gonna be able to explain myself for whatever reason. And that was bad. You need to make sure you communicate. Like, they'll appreciate you throughout the whole year as long as you're respectful and you like do what they ask, if that makes sense. I don't know. And also, what else? Freshman year was the easiest year for me, by far the easiest year. But and I also recommend you guys to take PE your freshman year and sophomore year because I'm taking it my junior and senior year, and it sucks because I don't get to do like some fun extra classes because I have to take my PE class, and it sucks because freshman year I was like, oh, whatever, you know, like I'll just take it next year, and then I never took it that year because I was like, oh, I want to take this class instead. And then junior year came and they made me be in PE so I can graduate, and it sucks because I hate PE. I'm so mad that I am in it, but if you do a sport freshman year, sophomore year, you do not have to take PE at all because you already get your PE credits because you're in doing like a sport. So if you're like a softball player, football player, like basketball, anything like that, make sure you do it during high school so you don't have to take PE. Unless you want to take PE, I mean, you can still do the sport and a PE class, but if you're in PE, I mean, if you're in a sport, then I'm sure you're not going to want to take PE, I mean. So, yeah. Another thing is, what else? Don't get into drama freshman year, because then throughout your whole high school, your years, like, you're gonna be like, oh, like, drama this, drama that, and it sucks. Drama is not worth it. If you're in a toxic friendship, leave it. Leave it. Like, you do not need that toxic, friendship at all. I was in a friendship, and we're not going to talk about that, but anyways, we're not friends anymore. So, yeah. But if you're in a friendship that is toxic, you don't need them. Promise. Especially, leave them freshman year. Don't let that toxic get into your sophomore, junior, senior year, whatever. Because it'll just ruin your whole high school experience because you're worrying about drama. It's not worth it. Promise. Anyways, so, that's pretty much all I have to say about freshman year. But sophomore year was my hardest year. Like, it was by far my hardest year. I don't know why it was my hardest year. It was just, everything was so hard for me, if that makes sense. Like, even though I'm in a pandemic right now, going to school, sophomore year was still harder than this year. And this year is pretty hard because you're, like, only in school for a couple hours. You're, like, only in your classes for 45 minutes, and it's, like, hard to learn. But sophomore year was by far my hardest year. I was, like, not doing good in any of my classes. But that's also because I was not a good communicator. I could not communicate with my teachers. I was always scared to email them or talk to them in person. I was scared to stay after school. So that's, like, probably one of the main reasons why I was struggling in sophomore year. But this year is better because I feel like since the teachers know that we're in a pandemic and we're only in class for 45 minutes, they're more, like, flexible on your side instead of, like, being like, okay, you didn't finish that in class, you're going to learn it at home by yourself. No. That is not how they're at this year, which I hope that it goes back to normal, but I hope that the teachers stay as nice as they are. Because I'm not failing none of my classes except for math. And the only reason I'm failing math this year is because I can't learn math. I've never been good at math at all. Never. My whole year, years in school, no. I was not good at math. So this year's just more hard for me because we're only in class. And I take extra long, of course, extra long to learn. I have to write down all my notes. I have to, like, actually get, like, the steps to, like, know how to do it for math. And my teacher doesn't have time to, like, explain it. Like, he'll write down the notes that we need to take, and then he'll be like, do you guys understand? But he doesn't have time to, like, answer all our questions, if that makes sense. It's not his fault. But it's just hard. And, like, we get out, so we have, like, at our school, we have, like, AM and PM. So, like, certain kids go in AM, certain kids don't go in PM. And, like, I'm a PM. I'm an AM. So if I want to stay after school, I have to wait all the way until 2:30 when the PM kids get out of class to come and see my teacher. So it's super hard because I don't have a car. So I can't drive myself. So I have to stay after school, I have to wait, and then I have to know if I have a ride home or not. Because I don't walk home because my house is too far to walk. So I have to like make arrangements to be able to stay after school if I want to even talk to my teacher. So that's why I can't really stay after school. This whole year since we've been back to school, I think I stayed after school one time. And that was last semester before we got out for winter break. And I got caught up on a lot of my missing assignments, but it was still hard because I didn't understand what I was even doing. And that's why I have like struggle, because I don't understand my math. Like, I don't understand why we have to learn it. I don't understand. Literally so stupid, but whatever. If I have to pass math to graduate, I guess I'm gonna have to pass math. And then what else? I don't really know. What else? So I'm not a senior yet, but my brother's a senior this year, and he said that senior year is super easy unless you like haven't passed any of your classes, or like say you have to retake math, which I think I'm gonna retake math even if I pass it by the end of the year. I think I'm gonna retake this year's math because I really don't understand any of the math I'm learning, and I want to know like how to do it before I graduate. So I think I'm gonna take it even if that's like during summer school. I might just retake it just in case. Just so I know like how to do it, if that makes sense. But he said that if you haven't passed any of your classes, or a lot of your classes, you'll have to retake them in senior year, which sucks because senior year is supposed to be like the year where you have a lot of your free classes and you get to go home like early because you don't have any classes or whatever, and it's supposed to be like a fun year. But if you have classes to retake, you're gonna have to take them during senior year. Or I mean, I guess you can take them during summer school, but if you have like English and math, you can't take both during summer school because you have to have 2 semesters of put into 2 weeks for summer school. So you won't be able to, you would still have to take one of them during school. But he said that senior year is pretty easy unless you haven't passed a class. Then that's when it gets difficult because, you know, you're trying to set up like college stuff, you're trying to get like applications in, and you're also worried about like passing your other classes so you can do those applications. So it's kind of hard, but that's pretty much like the high school 4 years, like what is that word called? A summary of high school, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I know this video is kind of short. I kind of made this last minute because I was like, I don't know what to film, but a lot of people said just do like a high school summary, like explain like high school and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing. I know it's kind of short, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I want you guys to comment and let me know what I should film next, because I film Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Every week I film Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So yeah, I need a video idea for Wednesday, so let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and yeah.